Hi, I'm Don from DonDronesOn. The amazing team management feature was introduced in Drone Pilot Canada version 2.0, offering team and device data synchronization. While the basic operation of this feature is fairly simple and easy to follow, this video will offer a complete walkthrough of all the feature's capabilities and highlight aspects that might not be obvious otherwise. So we're going to start with an introduction to show you what the feature has to offer, then talk about the basic concepts underlying the feature, the data union details, and then walk through each of the team functions. And you might think those team functions are obvious, but I guarantee you in each and every one of those segments, there's something interesting or unusual that may well surprise you. Let's get into it. So let's suppose we have a phone and a tablet, both running Drone Pilot Canada, and we'd like to synchronize their data. And suppose that on the phone we have defined two drones called Mavic and Inspire, and on the tablet we have two more drones called Spark and Anafi. Let's have the phone create a team, which is what we call Synchronized Devices. When the team is created, a copy of the phone's database is stored in the cloud and kept synchronized whenever the phone is connected to the internet. We then invite the tablet to join the team. When the tablet accepts the invitation, a copy of its database is sent to the cloud and merged into the team. So now we have 4 drones in the team. Instantly, a copy of the team's data is sent to both the phone and the tablet. So now both devices have access to all 4 drones, and any changes made on either device are synchronized to all members of the team whenever they are connected to the internet. I've simulated the synchronization of just the aircraft here, but of course in reality, the aircraft, their maintenance logs, all crew members, flight information, procedures, checklists, and documents are all synchronized when your devices are in the same team. And you can define your team as just devices you own yourself or other drone pilots in your company. It all works the same way. Here's how to do it in the app. On the hamburger menu, under Data Management, there's a new menu item called Team Management. By the way, you must have backups enabled to be part of a team. Select Team Management and simply tap Create Team. You even get to name your team. Once the team is created, you can invite another member to your team by tapping Invite Member. You invite each member of your team by means of their 8-character recovery code. You'll need to ask the people you're inviting for their recovery codes, or if you're simply linking up your own second device, you can just open the data management screen on that device and find the recovery code. Type in the code and hit OK. You can now name this new member however you see fit. In this case, I'm going to be inviting my iPhone from my Android phone because this does work across the 2 platforms. So I just type in, I'm going to call it my iPhone, like that, and hit OK. On the second device, go to the team management screen and accept the invitation to join the team. You can see the team name appears there. In a few seconds, all of the data will be available to all members of the team. Aircraft, crew, flight logs, maintenance logs, checklists, procedures, and documents. Any new flights you record or any data changes you make will synchronize whenever you're connected to the internet. Alright, so let's get into the basic concepts underlying these capabilities that you just saw. First of all, what is a team? A team consists of 2 or more devices. They can be a mix of iOS or Android as long as they have Drone Pilot Canada installed. The team can be 2 or more devices owned by one person, like yourself, or devices owned by multiple people all across Canada. Any number of devices may be in a team. but each device can be a member of only one team at a time. And we'll talk about some implications about that later on. When you join a team, your data is merged into the team's data as a union. There are a few special cases, and we'll discuss those on the next slide. When you leave a team, you retain all the data from the team, and that's really important to understand. Now, when you do that, when you leave a team, you can also revert to your pre-team data if you wish. Data is synchronized automatically whenever your device is connected to the internet. You don't have to do anything special. You don't have to push any buttons. And if you're offline and you make a data change, say you do a new flight log, for example, when you're offline, you're not connected to the internet, those changes are automatically synchronized as soon as your device regains its connection. Let's talk about the details of this data union. The following data elements are entirely merged when a new member joins a team. All the crew data, including any associated documents like pilot certificates and things like that. All of the aircraft data, including maintenance records and documents, with one exception, and that is aircraft manuals. We'll talk about that in a second. Aircraft manuals are not synchronized because they're huge. The third thing is flight log data. So all of the flight log is all of the records of your flights are merged into the database, including any completed checklist data, if that's applicable. If you've been saving your checklist data, that's merged and synchronized as well. So, as I mentioned, there's a couple of special cases. First of all, any downloaded aircraft manuals, they are not automatically synchronized. The web link is there and is available to download the manuals on each device if you want, but you don't have to. The second thing is customized checklists and procedures. They are imported into the team optionally when the team invitation is accepted. This is a little complicated, and I'll talk about this more when we talk about how to accept an invitation. But I want to emphasize that in a team, there is only one set of checklists and procedures. So you want to be careful about importing customized checklists and procedures as a new team member is invited and accepted into a team. Now we're going to walk through the various functions that are available within this feature, starting with how to create a team, how to invite a member, what happens when you accept an invitation, how you leave a team, and then a couple of administrative functions that are available only to the team creator, how to resolve duplicates, and we'll talk about how duplicates could arise, and how to list members and how to remove members forcibly, and then a few more specialized functions. Erasing all your data, heaven forbid, but there's reasons why you might want to do that. How to recover a team if you've lost the team creation device back in the cushions of the couch, and how to join a team if you have two devices already in a team. Okay, and I want to emphasize that for all of this team functionality, backups must be enabled to use any of it. That's because the backup capability, the technology that we use for backups, is the same technology that we use for this team synchronization. So creating a team. You saw how simple it was to create a team in the demo. Let's talk about some of the subtleties. So first of all, you create a team by simply tapping the Create Team button, and that initiates the process. By the way, this button will not appear if you're already in a team, because you can only be in one team at a time. The team creator, in other words, the device where you're creating the team, is an administrator of the team and has several special functions available to them. And I'll talk about those in a few slides. When you create a team, you can name that team. The team name can be any text that you choose, and it provides a simple way to identify the team to other members so that when they get an invitation, they feel comfortable that they're joining the right team. Also, when the team is created, you will see a 12-character team code. Looks a lot like a recovery code, but it's 12 characters instead of 8. So that is created and displayed for you. I would recommend that you record this code to allow you to recover a team in the event that your device is lost or destroyed or stolen or, as I said, lost down behind the couch somewhere. Now that you've got your team created, the next step is to invite members. And again, members can be either other devices that you own personally, or they can be other people's devices, whether those be people in your company or students in your class or whatever. So any team member can invite additional members to the team. And you use the invitee's recovery code, in other words, the device that you're inviting, that recovery code, as the identifier to invite them to the team. Now you'll need to communicate directly with that invitee or looking, at your other device to obtain that recovery code. So you say, I'd like to invite you to my team. I need your recovery code, and that person will provide you the recovery code that you can find on your data management screen. The app will inform you if the invitee is already a member of the team. So it'll give you an error message. And that's because you can only be a member of one team at a time. So if they're already a member of a team, then you can't invite them basically until they unteam themselves. And that might be quite common if you're inviting someone who already has a team set up between their 2 or 3 devices. Now, there is a simple procedure if you have already teamed 2 or more devices, and I'm going to get into that in a few slides. Now, the invitee must actually accept the invitation on their device in order to become a member of the team. So they're not a member of the team until they've accepted that invitation. And that's the next slide. An invitation to join a team is displayed on the invitee's team management screen, as you can see here. And there's no notification, by the way, of that invitation other than the message. So you, as the person inviting, must communicate directly with the invitee to let them know, okay, I've sent the invitation. Now, here's the tricky part. If the person you are inviting, so suppose you have just been invited and you have customized any checklists or procedures, because you remember you can actually change or add or delete things from your checklists. So you might have done that customization. So if that's the case, the app will actually discover this and inform you. It will list out, as you can see here, any checklists that you have actually customized. So in this case, the takeoff procedure and the user-defined procedure have been customized. And you need to choose individually, so you tick the ones you want, to import into the team. Because if you do that, they will replace the team's existing procedures or checklists that have the corresponding titles. And obviously, if you're going to do that, you should communicate with the team creator before importing your checklists, because they will become the team's new items. Now you can always recover, or the team creator can always recover their original ones or clear out things and change them. But I think it's nicer to actually say, hey, by the way, I've got a takeoff procedure that's a little better. Do you want me to import it into the team? Okay. Now, when you do join a team, you should note your old recovery code, because you can use that recovery code later if you choose to leave the team. So you can go back to the state that you were at before you joined this team. Leaving so soon? You just got here. Okay, well, you may as well know how to leave a team. So on the team management screen, you can leave the team by tapping Leave Team. Seems pretty sensible. One point, the team creator may leave the team only when there are no other members left in the team. And when the team creator leaves the team is disbanded. Now, when you leave a team, you retain all the data from the team, and you're given a new individual recovery code. This is your backup code. And backups remain enabled, but using that new recovery code. Now, why do I say new recovery code? Well, that's because if you recall, when you joined the team, you noted down your old recovery code. And so you have a choice at this point. When you leave the team, you can either stay using all the team's data, or you can revert back to your individual data that you had before joining the team. In order to do that, you erase all your data, and there's a button to do that. I'll show you that in a second. Then use your old recovery code to reload that data set into the app. So now I'm going to talk about a couple of administrator functions. Administrator functions are available only to the team creator. The first one is resolving duplicates. Now, there are two cases where a member might join a team and bring effectively duplicate data along with him or her. An example of duplicate data is a pilot that existed in the team before, and the new member also has that pilot on their device. So the pilots have the same certification number. So the two cases are, number one, two devices that you had previously been using independently. Say you had an iPhone and an iPad, you had Drone Pilot Canada on both, and it entered your pilot information into both. Well, you're joining them together now as a team. You don't really need two versions of yourself in your team. The second case is if a member of a team leaves the team, so remember they take the team data with them, and now rejoin the team for whatever reason, well, now they're bringing a whole bunch of duplicates back with them, the pilots and the aircraft as well. So let's talk about this. So here's an example. Say I loan my Mavic 2 to my son. He has a copy of the app. He enters the Mavic 2 into his app so he can record some flights. And now that the app version 2 is here, we can now have a team. So I invite him to my team, but he's bringing that aircraft into the team. So here you can see my team list, or the team, the list of aircraft in the team shows two copies of the Mavic 2. Dad's Mavic 2 and the original one that I named, just called Mavic, and there's also a Mini. So we want to resolve that duplicate. So the team creator can go to, on his data management team, to the function that's called resolve duplicates. And when he selects that, the app will go through the database and identify any duplicates that exist in the database based on certification numbers and registration numbers. So here it's brought up the fact that there's two aircraft with the same registration number on it, but you can now do one of two things. You can either select the one you want to keep and the other one just gets archived, or you can keep them both if for whatever reason you want to do that. And you can see on this list that one of them has maintenance records and a document. So clearly that's the true master. So you would select that one and hit the key that says keep the selected item. And now the one that I didn't check will be archived. If there are other duplicates in your database, it would show them, but in this case, it shows that there's no more duplicates. So I hit OK. And now if I go to my aircraft list, you can see that my duplicate Mavic 2 has disappeared. So the team creator has the resolve duplicates function available to guide them through selecting which crew or aircraft should be retained, or if both should be retained, like I said. The resolve duplicates button is displayed only if duplicates exist. If there's no duplicates, it doesn't show up at all. Crew or aircraft that you choose not to retain, like Dad's Mavic, are not actually deleted, but they're archived because they could be referenced by flight logs and you don't want to lose that reference. And duplicate flights, so in the case of a member who leaves and then rejoins, they have duplicate flights with them. They will be identified automatically by the app, and they will be automatically discarded so that there's only one copy of duplicate flights. And it identifies duplicate flights based on flights that occurred at exactly the same date and time and had exactly the same duration. Okay, so that's how you resolve duplicates. The other administrator function I'd like to mention is the ability to list and remove members. So the team creator may list the current members of the team by tapping the Members button on the team management screen. And when you do that, you see the recovery code and the name that you've assigned to each member of the team, along with their status, whether they're an administrator, or have been invited but not yet joined, or actually joined. And on this screen, the administrator or team creator can forcibly remove a member from the team. I call this the Tantalus device, but you'd have to reference the original Star Trek to understand that. So on the way you remove it is slightly different depending on whether you're on iOS or Android. On iOS, you swipe left on the member's name and then select remove. On Android, you do a long press on the member's name, and again, you select the remove function. A removed member will see a notification on their team management screen and will retain the team's data. So it's exactly the same as if they had voluntarily left, but you gave them a little nudge. You may have noticed through these demos that there is an erase all data function, which seems pretty strange, but there it is. So there's 3 cases where you may actually wish to erase all the data from your Drone Pilot Canada database on your device. Number 1, if you wish to recover from a backup, because in order to do that, your database must be empty. Number 2 is if you wish to recover a team from backup, and again, your database must be emptied in order to recover a team. And the third case is if you wish to join a team with 2 of your own devices that are already teamed. So to avoid duplicating data in the new team, the second device can be erased before joining. And I'll go over this again in a second. Now, to facilitate these procedures, there is an erase all data function available. And of course, there's appropriate confirmation to prevent accidental use. So go ahead and press it if you just want to see what would happen. In the event that the team creator's device is lost or damaged or stolen or whatever, you can use the 12-character team recovery code that you carefully wrote down to regain administrative status for the team. In order to recover a team, the new device, assuming you got a new device, must have an empty Drone Pilot Canada database. So either just do it immediately upon reinstalling the app, or you can use that erase all data function to clear the database. And on an empty database, a recover team button, as you can see here, is displayed on the team management screen. It's only there if your device is empty. Notice, by the way, that you can actually use that team recovery code to allow a second device to become a team administrator over and above the team creator. You may or may not want to do that. Your choice. And finally, how to join a team if you have 2 devices. Now, since you can be a member of only one team at a time, if you have 2 or more devices that you've already teamed up in a team of your own, in order to join another team, you need to follow this procedure. And it's pretty straightforward and sensible if you've followed all of the stuff I've been talking about so far. So number 1, you disband your personal team by removing all of the devices from the team. Step 2 is to take note of all the recovery codes on the different devices. They'll each show a recovery code. Number 3, assuming you wish to import your existing team information into the new team, you would join the new team with one of your devices first, perhaps your original phone or team creator phone or whatever. So you join with just one of your devices, and this device, of course, will hold all of your old team's data. And then finally, step 4, to avoid unnecessary duplicate data, you erase all data from your other devices and then have them join the new team. And by the way, you don't have to have your new team's creator do all those invites, because you as a member can invite your own devices when you have a moment to do that. So that's how you join a team if you have 2 or more devices already teamed up. So there we have it. All the ins and outs of team management. Congratulations for sticking through all this. I know it's fairly complicated when you get into all these strange cases, but hopefully you have found this informative. And please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and hit that notification so you'll be notified of all my new videos. Drone Pilot Canada is available in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below or email me at DonDronesOn@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, and happy flying.